A lot of people who want to know how to start an online business will come out on my webinars or talk to me at the events that I speak at, and typically there will be a top 10 list of mistakes that I will see time and time again. And so I feel that it's really fitting to share what these mistakes are, in the hope that if you too are looking to start an online business, you can get a little bit of an idea of some of the pitfalls to avoid and really get clear on how you can start creating some success in your business and ultimately in your life. Okay, so let's go through the top 10 right now. Mistake number 1, comparing yourself to other people. So when people start in business, it's pretty typical to look at the people who have achieved the result already, which is great, by the way. Modeling people that have achieved the result is literally one of the keys to success. But a trap that people then fall into is they'll compare the difference between where they're at, which is obviously just starting out and brand new, and where the person they're modeling is at. And they've obviously been doing it for a very long time in some cases. And it's that comparison which can cause a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress and a lot of fear and a lot of lack. And we kind of give ourselves the sense that we have an unscalable mountain to climb. And because of that, people often stop taking action. Okay, so number 1, do not compare yourself to other people who are way further ahead of you on the journey. Because they're way further ahead. Like, they've had so many more experiences and so much more practice. You don't need to compare yourself. If you're going to compare yourself to anything, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but if you're going to compare yourself, just compare your today to your yesterday. And as long as you're moving forward and taking those steps, that's the important thing. So number 2 is believing that there's a magic tactic or a magic strategy or just a secret how out there that we're missing. And believing that there's like some kind of secret formula or some kind of magic bullet is what keeps people from doing the things that really count, which is persistence, which is hard work, which is committing every single day to building the right habits that are going to ultimately move them forwards. There isn't a magic secret. It's really quite basic how to succeed. You know, the basic steps are have a very clear vision of where you're going, set goals that are going to drive you towards that vision, build the right habits and do the right things consistently every single day that will move you closer to those goals, overcome fear, be resourceful, and never give up and never quit. If you do those 6 things, eventually, no matter how long it takes, you will succeed. It's quite simple. And yet, especially when we're starting out, we'll convince ourselves that, oh no, we don't need to do all of that hard work stuff. There's just got to be something, just some sort of magic secret out there. And if I can just find that, it's going to save me a whole load of time and I'll achieve my success just like that. It doesn't work that way. And as long as we cling on to that illusion, it's just going to keep us stuck. And it's going to keep us away from putting our focus into the things that really count. Okay, which is vision, goals, habits and daily method of operation, overcome fear, resourcefulness and never quit. Focus on that. That's what other people who achieve success put their focus into. That's what you should put your focus into if you want to model the result that they've created. And that brings us on to step 3, which is get rich quick mentality. Okay, so again, people believing that there's this way like get rich in 30 days or, you know, just basically fast track results. Again, it's taking our focus away from the stuff that really counts. And people, when they start in online business and they've got this get rich quick mentality, give up way too easily. First sign of challenge, first time things get hard, that's it. They throw in the towel. They're like, oh, you know, I've been doing this for 30 days and I'm not a millionaire yet. And because of that, like this whole online business thing is a scam. It's like, come on, if you were starting a brick and mortar business, how much time would you expect to put in before you start seeing results? If you were joining the gym and you wanted to get into Olympic level athlete shape, how much time would you expect to put in before you start seeing results? And yet we start an online business and it's like 30 days, no results, it's a scam. That's ridiculous. Like, come on, we know that's ridiculous. So ditch the get rich quick mentality. And listen, if you know why you're doing this, and you've got a reason why, ask yourself, are you still going to want to create that thing in your life, whatever that is? Are you still going to want to create that a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Because if you're still going to want to create it, then no matter how long it takes, is it going to be worth it? And if the answer is yes, ditch the get rich quick mentality, because it's just going to sabotage you, right? Just be prepared to do whatever it takes. We've got to be in this mindset of whatever it takes, no matter how long it takes, we will just keep going. Okay, so ditch the get rich quick mindset. And that also ties us actually into number 4, which is giving up way too quickly. Okay, so again, if you can ditch the get rich quick mindset, and if you can make sure that your expectations for doing what it takes, or being willing to do whatever it takes, if you're willing to get uncomfortable enough, and if you're willing to put in the work without seeing the results, it's going to really help you make sure that you don't give up right before you do achieve that result. I mean, a lot of us, you might have seen that image of the little guy with the mining pick that's mining for the diamond. And the picture is basically him in the mud, and he's like tunneled all the way through the mud, and there's a giant diamond just here, and he's got right in front of the diamond, and then he's just given up and he's turned back and he's walking away, and he's within a little whisker of getting that giant diamond. Okay, so there's many, many ways that you can embody strategies in your daily method of operation to just make sure that you keep going. And a strategy that I got from a guy called Ed Milet, I think his name is. I was listening to his podcast a while ago. I was recommended it by someone in my online business community, actually. And in that podcast, Ed Milet talks about his mantra of just one more. So he'll do, when he's working out, just one more rep. You know, when he's like making calls in his business, just one more call. When he's implementing new strategies, just one more strategy. His whole thing is just one more, just one more. And having this mantra means that he will always push himself just that little bit further every single day, and it adds up. Really makes a difference. Okay, so just be willing to not give up on yourself, on your goals, on your dreams. Which brings us on to number 5, which is people do not have a clear vision of where they're going or why they're doing this or who they want to become or what they want to do. Okay, so clear vision. Got to know, why is it we're doing this? Because it's that's going to drive you when it really gets tough. When you encounter a big challenge, you know, maybe it's building your first website and you're pulling your hair out because WordPress is driving you crazy. Whatever it is, if you have that vision, you've got something there that's bigger than you, that's going to draw you forwards, and you're not relying on willpower. Because if we rely on willpower's finite. It's like a battery. There's going to be times when you get home from work in the evening and the last thing you can be bothered to do is open the laptop and work for a few hours. But you've got to have that reason that's bigger than you. If you've got kids, do it for your kids. You know, if you've got people you care about, family, loved ones, do it for them. If you've got other people, impact that you want to create in the world, you know, ask yourself, if you had, say, $1 million paid into your bank account today, or £1 million paid into your bank account today, what would you start doing with your life? Well, make that your reason why. And make it not about the money. So using that analogy means you can say, well, let's take the money out of the equation. Let's take my financial scarcity beliefs and let's take my fears out of the equation. You've got money, fine. Now what? Now what do? Yeah, you might go on holiday, do the traveling thing for 6 months. You might buy that car that you've wanted to buy. But then what? What are you going to do after that? Because the money is not going to buy you happiness. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so what is it? What's the life that you ultimately want to be living? Who do you want to be being and what do you want to be doing? And then use that as your driver to keep you moving forward when things get tough. And then number 6 is not committing to one path. I see this so much. So people, especially in online business, because there's lots of different ways of doing it, right? There's people who, you know, you can start affiliate marketing companies, lots of different affiliate companies in lots of different niches with loads of different marketing strategies. You can start e-commerce business, physical products, and you might do drop shipping. You might, you know, be looking at your own product. You might be using Shopify, Amazon FBA. You know, you might even start a consultancy business. You might start an agency. You might start social media marketing. You might, you could go on and on and on. There's so many different ways to succeed, particularly online. And so this is both a good thing, and it also means that people will often get, call it magpie syndrome, right? Shiny object syndrome. so many different choices, and they'll start one and it gets hard, and then like, oh, okay, well that's difficult now, let me start another one because this one will be easier. And then they start another one, and then they're like, oh, e-commerce is crap, so let me try this one instead, affiliate marketing, let's do that. And they just keep giving up whenever it gets challenging, and because of that they never make the breakthroughs and master anything. They become the jack of all trades but the master of none. So you've got to pick a path and you have to commit to it. Now, to clarify something here, that doesn't mean just doing the same thing again and again and again and again and just failing again and again, but just doing the same thing and not making any changes. That's the definition of insanity. Don't do that. But commit to succeed down one path, and whenever you fail, learn from it, pivot, and look at another way of succeeding down that path. But you've chosen your path. Make that path work. Just commit to it. Because 95% of people are going to give up before they achieve the result. You've got to decide that you're going to be in the 5% who just keep going. If you're in the 5% who just keep going, well, you can decide to be in the 5% by deciding that you're not going to quit. You can decide from the word go whether you will be in the 5% that succeed, and therefore whether you will have a 100% chance of succeeding. But if you cannot decide that you're never going to quit and you can't truly mean that, well, then you're not in the 5%. You're going to go into the 95% that fail and then maybe make excuses about, oh, online business is too hard, it's saturated, blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's like, it couldn't be further from the truth. We're not even at the tip of the iceberg yet. But yeah, so just decide, that you're going to commit to one path and then just keep going no matter what. And then number 7 is not creating the right habits and not focusing on the highest impact tasks that are going to actually move you forward towards your result. So the result that you create in your life is the result of what you do every single day. And what you do every single day are your habits. And they can either be negative or they can be positive. And we get to choose what our habits are by what we do every single day. We can build our habits. So with that in mind, we've got to make sure that we're building the right habits, and that when we're actually sitting down to work on our business, we're focusing on the one thing that is going to have the highest impact on moving us towards our goals. Apply the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle, right? We've got to be doing the 20% of things that are going to yield 80% of the impact. And if we're constantly focusing on the right things, we're going to have an exponential increase in the result that we create, and it will exponentially reduce the time it takes us to create that result. But the caveat or the catch is that the highest impact things are generally going to be the most overwhelming, the most frustrating, the most scary, the furthest outside of our comfort zones, and because of that, they're the most scary. We feel the most fear. So we've got to recognize that if we want to grow and we want to move forwards, we've got to do the things that scare us. We've got to be willing to just dive in face first into fear. Okay, so make that a fundamental part of what you're doing every day. Build the right habits and do the highest impact things that are going to drive you towards your goals. And then number 8 is that when people do start an online business, they ultimately end up marketing to everyone. And when you market to everyone, you market to no one. Let me put it this way. Let's say, for example, let's say your pipes burst in your house. Right, and you've got water just exploding all over your kitchen, like flooding everything. All your possessions are, just getting destroyed, and you're like frantically trying to find your phone to Google someone who can help you with this problem. Let's say you type something into Google, type like emergency plumbing repairs in, I don't know, Essex. Let's say you're from Essex, right? If you type emergency plumbing repairs in Essex in your phone, and you see 2 adverts. One of them says, hey, my name's Bob, I can help you with anything and everything. I do fences, I do electrics, I do plumbing, I do, sheds, I do like building work, I do patio, I do everything. So whatever you need, just give me a call and I'll come and help you out. But then the second result that you see is an advert that says, emergency plumbing repairs specialist. We help you in high-pressure emergency situations to get your problems resolved ASAP. Floods, no problem. That's all we do. We've got a lot of experience. If your kitchen pipes are, and obviously I'm making this up off the top of my head, but if your kitchen pipe has exploded, that is our specialty. Call us right now. Who are you going to call? in that situation if your kitchen pipe has just exploded everywhere? Right? You're going to call the specialist, the guy who does this for a living, because you know that they are going to be really good at solving that problem. That's the only problem they solve. It's what they do. And the beauty of online business is that you're online. So your business, you can get in touch with anyone in the entire world. Okay? If you're creating a business that's not geographically constrained, if you're operating digitally, then it means that you have the freedom to target anyone and everyone in the world. Now, let's say that you sold a product that's worth, I don't know, $1,000. Say you sell a $1,000 product and you want to make your first million. Well, and to keep it super simple for this exercise, let's ignore profit margins and marketing expenses and operating costs, ignore all of that. Let's just say $1,000 sale, you want to make $1 million in revenue. So how many $1,000 sales do you need to make $1 million? Right? 1,000 times 1,000 is $1 million. So you need 1,000 customers to make $1 million in revenue. So if that's the case, well, you have the entire world population who are on the internet to target, and you've got to find 1,000 people whose problems that you can solve. Now, if you are thinking, or you have the thought of, yeah, but if I don't say I can do lots of different things, so if I don't say all the things that I can do, then I'm missing customers. Well, actually, if you become the jack of all trades, you're not getting any customers because nobody sees you as an expert. And in the online world, they can find people who are very, very focused on helping them achieve a specific problem. Because people who succeed recognize that if you're a specialist, you can target the entire world, so you will never have a shortage of customers. And so the more laser focused you can get onto the value that you provide to one specific pain or problem that you're the master of solving, all you need to do is directly get in front of people who have that exact pain or problem, and you are going to be the right business for the right customer at the right time. So that's the key. You become a specialist. Do not market to everyone. Do not try and solve everyone's problems. You know, there's so many life coaches online now. People go into life coaching and they'll be like, oh, I can help you with any problem whatsoever that you have. Just come to me. The market is filled with generalists. Be a specialist. If you want to go down coaching in that example, you know, be a specialist. You solve one specific problem and you're the master of that problem. And when you start getting involved in a community, right, that helps people with that problem, you can become the master of that community and apply this concept in your business, right? Become the specialist, not the jack of all trades. And then number 9 is going at it completely alone. So a lot of people will start out, they've never done this before, and they'll literally go out into the big wide world with no support, no community, no mentors, no accountability groups, nobody to turn to in any way whatsoever, and then wonder why they fail. It's like, you know, imagine you were training to be, I don't know, a professional golfer, for example. Now, is it possible to do it on your own? Yes, it's possible. It's generally going to take you 10 times longer. You're going to have to figure out so much stuff that other people have already figured out. You're not going to be able to see your own flaws as much as a mentor who's already walked the path looking at you could see your flaws and point you out and course correct. It's going to be a lot harder. Okay, so it's possible, yes. But if you want to achieve a result in a shorter time, well, get yourself involved with people who can help you achieve that result. You know, other people who are doing it with you. If you can see them making the breakthroughs at the stages of their businesses that you're at right now, your belief is going to start to skyrocket because you'll start to see, well, if they can do it, I can do it. You know, mentors are great because they can guide you and course correct you. But somebody who's made like 10 million online, when we're sitting on 0, we can't relate to that. They're so far ahead that we don't see the steps. But when somebody who's also was on 0 last week, but they've just made their first sale, and you're like, hold on, wait, they've just made their first sale online, and they're just like me, and they're doing the things that I'm doing. So I might be really close to making my first sale online. What did they do to do that? That then fuels your belief that actually you can do this. Okay, so there's benefits to mentors, there's benefits to people like you in community, there's benefits to accountability groups of people of all levels, there's benefits to joining webinars, again, mixed environments. So get yourself into a community. It's so important. And just below this video, I got involved when I first started an online business. There was a community that I got involved with, education company, mentors, accountability, like webinars, training, education, partnerships with other companies that offer all loads of stuff to help people in online business as well. It is so important to find yourself that environment. And if you don't want to do it through the same company I did, that's fine. Like, there's no problem at all, but just find yourself something, just some place that you can go and speak to people. Right? We've got to have mentors and a community around us who can help us move forwards in what we're trying to achieve. And then the final one, number 10, is that we've got to be willing to invest in ourselves. Because if we're trying to achieve something that we've never achieved before and it's outside of our realm of possibility, then for us to achieve that, we've got to grow. We've got to become something more. We've got to step into a new version of ourselves. And if we already knew what we had to do to become that version of ourselves, or we already knew how to overcome the challenges that we're facing, then we'd probably already be doing it. The fact is, we don't know what we don't know. And by investing in yourself, you're giving yourself new ideas, you're giving yourself, or you're putting yourself in new environments, you're surrounding yourself with new people, getting new education, you're getting new mentors who can guide you in new ways, open up new possibilities. You know, investing in yourself is the best investment that you will ever make, because you can invest in assets, you can invest in property, stocks, bonds, crypto, like all this different stuff. But ultimately, something could happen and that investment could go. And then what you're left with is, well, you've lost an investment. Like, you've learned some lessons, sure, but what you're essentially left with is worth less than the investment that you made. But if you invest in yourself, that will stay with you no matter what. And if that's the case, if that's the best investment that you can ever make, the only way that you will lose on an investment that you make in yourself is if you stop growing and stop moving forward and give up on yourself and your dreams. And if you refuse to quit no matter what, and you know that you're just going to keep going until you achieve what it is you're wanting to achieve, well, that investment in yourself, it will return on that investment. And if you're saying that the reason you can't invest in yourself is because you don't have the money, well, no, money is as a result. It comes as a result of investing in yourself, because when you invest in yourself, then you grow, and what becomes possible for you grows as well. If you're saying, I can't invest in myself, I can't go to that seminar, I can't buy that course, I can't buy that education because I don't have the money, well, that's like saying I can't join the gym yet because I don't have six-pack abs. When I get six-pack abs, then I can join the gym. That's madness. Investing in yourself, or not investing in yourself because you don't have money, is like saying I can't go to the gym because I don't have six-pack abs. Switch that belief on its head. Realize that find the money, get to the event, and then you will increase your potential to grow. That's the way round that you need to step into if you're going to achieve success in your life. You've got to become the version of yourself who will invest in themselves, who will create results in their life, and who will do what it takes to make those results happen. You've got to become that version of yourself before you can achieve the result that that version of yourself would achieve. You don't get the abs before doing the workout to get the abs. You don't get the money before investing in yourself and learning the skills and becoming the person who is capable of creating that money, that wealth. Okay, so get that right. Go into things with the right expectations. Be willing to invest yourself. Remember these 10 reasons that people fail, and then hopefully you can make sure that you avoid these reasons as well and focus on these 6 things that drive success. All right, so clear vision, have goals, set goals, build the right habits and the right daily method of operation, overcome fear, get resourceful, figure stuff out, and finally, never give up, never quit. And if you do that, you will achieve success. Now, disclaimer, obviously, we've got to say that success is not guaranteed because it's down to the individual person. You decide whether you're going to succeed. If you decide that you're never going to quit no matter what, and you're going to keep moving forwards, well, you will succeed, but that's on you. Nobody can guarantee anything apart from yourself. All right, so you decide. Is your success guaranteed? Are you guaranteeing your own success? Well, if you're making that guarantee to yourself and you're committing to it, then you've already decided, you've already chosen to be the person who's going to succeed. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then don't forget to subscribe. You should see it on the screen right now. You'll also see more videos of similar kind of things. I talk about online business and I talk about personal growth and mindset. If you found it valuable, you can watch more right now. And finally, hope you've enjoyed it, hope it's helped, and I shall see you in the next video. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.